This is Greg Vincent from the Pro Farmer Midwest Crop Tour. We have Pat Solon from Streator, Illinois, and Kyle Wendland from Fredericksburg, Iowa, in the northeast part of the state. And let's just start with you, Pat, and talk a little bit about what you have seen the last 2 days as we came through Ohio, finished up Indiana, and started in Illinois.
Seeing a lot of variation in corn yields. Like yesterday, the best one we had was about a 225, but that was a very late potential 225. And we've seen corn that could be ready within a month at 83 bushel an acre. The beans yesterday were very low in pod counts versus last year, mostly about 6 to 7%. And today the corn was relatively consistently low. Low of 83, and had one field that was 225 just north of Indianapolis, and then seen some corn with mold on it, and overall it was a very interesting last 2 days.
See a lot of that mold disease type thing?
Mostly in the just south here of Bloomington, Illinois, in DeWitt County, and a lot of tip backs. Yesterday we seen some with 3 inches tip backs, and today the worst we seen was about 2.5, and it was a lot of soil compaction in these fields, and just the heat just literally took a damage this year on the corn crop.
How about you, Kyle?
Yesterday I saw the same, a lot of immature corn, late milk, early dough. I think the Ohio number might be a little bit high just from, you were still measuring potential. You could kind of see some of the stuff was starting to tip back, but it wasn't really fully tipped back, so you were measuring the full ear. Today my route, we headed north out of Indy, up through Tipton County, and then kind of just straight west over into Ford County, Illinois. Again, it was a more mature crop today, but there was still a few just really sporadic samples that were, again, immature corn that, was in the dough stage in the process of tipping back a little. But for the most part, stuff was denting today. So that was kind of nice to see, what you measured is what's going to be out there come fall.
How many years you been on the tour?
This would be my fourth.
Fourth year. How's it compare to other years?
Very similar to last year to me.
That's maybe not good news.
Yeah, it kind of is. Just, I don't know. But last year, some of that stuff was early. I'm glad they moved the tour back a week. Again, some of the stuff we saw yesterday was way behind normal. Got into a couple dry areas, northeastern Illinois. Ford County was our low sample for the day at 130. Lawns were brown, corn was firing up. It didn't really seem like a nitrogen deficiency as much as like everybody else says the dryness and the heat just really killed it late season. In some fields, northwestern Indiana, it'd surprise you. You walk in and it's 7 foot tall, but the stalks are there, and you could probably get a good crop out of it. It looks like crap from the road, but right. Sample's decent, 180 or so.
Did you see a big difference once you got in the field, Pat?
Yeah, it did. Really a lot of difference. Even just, I didn't bring it up, but now after listening to Kyle, just south of here in Decatur, we've seen some fields with green snap, and if I remember right, it was like in just after the 4th of July, we had rain on a Sunday, and for maybe 80 miles the wind came through, and it just got about half an inch, but there was a lot of gooseneck and green snapping fields from here.
We saw a lot. This was from a field we were with Pete Meyer and Richard Guzzi, and this was on the in row, and that was pretty consistent on the inside. Is that sort of what you're seeing?
Yep. We've seen a little of that.
What about comparing all this? I mean, this what it's like at home? Pat, we're going to hit your area tomorrow, just north of here. Same kind of thing inside?
Yeah, I would say it's. I don't think it's as small as those, but it's I'm looking at probably a 25% cut in yield.
Yeah. Kyle, you're in the garden spot in Iowa this year.
We really haven't
People
been in
aren't
the
going to
garden
like you
spot.
on this tour when it's done.
Well, you know, it looks great though, and plant health has just been spectacular. We've caught the rains. You know, we had the heat during pollination, but it was for like 3 or 4 days, and then we got a break, and then another 3 or 4 days. You know, but it still doesn't look great. I mean, I was disappointed when I saw the ears fill out. I left for a week vacation there the first week of August, and I left thinking, you know, things are great. We're going to have 200 bushel potential easy. And I came back, and I mean, stuff tipped back. Yeah. I had a few pollination troubles in a few fields, some northern cornworm beetle problems feeding on the silks in another field. And, you know, I'm hoping to probably make 5-year average is my goal right now.
So you guys think, I guess, what we've seen so far, obviously Ohio could still lose yield from where we are. It got a little more mature in Indiana and maybe even a little bit more so in Illinois. Do you think we could still lose yield?
Oh yeah.
In Indiana and Illinois from here on out?
I think the yields were, bean yields were improved by the rain that we went through in Illinois today. I mean, we've seen some.
That's a big rain.
Oh yeah. I mean, some of those pods will fill out really beautiful. I think that's a big thing right now. You know, corn, it definitely is going to add the test weight to the corn.
I don't know. Some of this, you know, a lot of the stuff, like I said today, was dent. You'll add minimal yield with that, and you know, I think some of this later pollinated stuff and later filling stuff, you know, it's got a little cooler temperatures to deal with. You know, might be up just a little bit. So I'm a little more optimistic on Indiana and northern Illinois from what I saw today.
You think you can still make more yield at home, or is it done?
There's a lot of fields that dented already, and that was really shocking how fast we went from pollination to dent this year.
That's day 2 tailgate talk here in Bloomington, Illinois. For AgWeb, I'm Greg Vincent.